At 56, I decided to work remotely from Croatia. If I haven't met you yet, I'm Jennifer Gilman. I'm a functional medicine, health, and lifestyle coach. Today, I'm going to talk about my first week here in Split, Croatia. And we're going to get real here. The first 48 hours, the panic moments, they're very real. And then how I really made connections showing up for myself. So stay right here. You're not going to want to miss this. The initial panic. I was so excited to arrive here. I'm all ready. I've got everything planned out, right? And I got here, and as soon as I landed, got settled into my Airbnb because my apartment's not ready for a couple of weeks, right? I panicked. I was just like, what have I just done? I've packed up my whole life. I put everything in storage. I said goodbye to everyone I know and love, and I flew over to Croatia. I don't know anybody here. There was just these moments flooding in, and I'm like, all right, I've got to like not unpack everything. I just need to go hit the streets and start wandering around and just get the beauty inside me, right? Have some coffee, just sit and relax, which really did help. Just getting out and about, not feeling like I had to just get settled in my place, just immediately begin to explore, right? So I highly recommend that. But the first 48 hours, just this constant roller coaster of I don't know anyone. So here's what I did. I said yes to connection. And prior to coming over here, I did hook up with a couple of Facebook groups, digital nomad communities, and expats. But also, there was a really robust digital nomad WhatsApp group. Okay. And I was really excited about this because the chatter on the Facebook groups was okay, but there wasn't a lot of meetups. There wasn't a lot happening. And as soon as I got connected to the WhatsApp group for Split for this particular town, which is so organized, kudos to everyone who admins that because it's a lot of work, right? There's so many people coming in, they're coming and going, depending on like they're here for a couple of years, then they leave, they might be going to another country. So a lot of flux there. And these people are amazing at just keeping it all organized. So there's the main group, and then there's all these subgroups. And the subgroups are based on your interests. I love that because I can choose to be part of these subgroups, whether it was cooking or health and wellness or what's going on in Split, all of that. And I was like checking the boxes. What am I interested in? And so during that 48-hour period of constant panic, I realized, wait a minute, I have this at my fingertips. Although I'm a solo traveler, I don't need to do life alone here, right? It was really important for my well-being to get connected. So I just started going on the WhatsApp and in that group and looking to see what was coming up and pretty much saying yes, just saying yes to myself and everything that was happening. So a lot of things, there was meetups coming up. There was at the co-working space I was checking out, there was going to be a speaker for the Foreign Business Owners Association, which I hadn't heard of. So I was like, well, I'm going to go to that. I'll go to the speaker. The speaker happened to be a woman named Anya who teaches Croatian language. And of course, I was interested. I'm like, I need to find a language teacher. So it was a really good fit. And then the next two nights were other meetups. And I was just like, yes, yes, and yes. And even on Sunday of that week, I signed up with a woman named Jules. Shout out to her, the wine woman on Instagram. She set up an all-day excursion about 2 hours south, close to Dubrovnik, for this big wine tasting tour, coupled with oysters and different foods, and just like a whole day. I said yes to that too, because I'm like, I want to meet people, I want to go places and do life with others and have that connection. So that was one of my biggest things, is just really looking for those avenues and saying yes and searching them out, which really helped me just to feel well and connected. If you're not watching this video in the YouTube app, I really recommend you pop over to the app so that you're able to comment, and you'll see my description and any links that I put in there. So while you're there, I'd love for you to give me a like and also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. One of my favorite excursions for this first week was the Oysteria. So remember, I bought a ticket like from Jules, the wine woman, at the wine woman on Instagram, just again to give her a little shout out. It was amazing, like just to be able to actually have a whole day planned. She had all the transportation, very, very comfortable. And there was a few of us who went. So we got along really well and I learned so much. But at the Oysteria, which I love oysters. I don't know about you. You might not like them, you might love them. But did you know how packed they are of vitamins and minerals? Like, really, this is a great food for us. And so much zinc and selenium, and just like they're just packed. So I love oysters, always have. I just have really fond memories of having oysters with my family, and my dad would shuck them on my brother, and we would all take turns. I've definitely caught myself a few times shucking oysters. But this was the European flat oyster, and I learned a lot about the history of how originally it was in this area, this part of the Adriatic, and they're grown using science actually from the Romans originally. Very cool. And it's not, it's actually this line that goes across the ocean, and then the line is floated by buoys. And then there is this rope that goes down, and the oysters attach themselves onto the line, and that's how they grow. Really cool, right? So I learned all of this and I really enjoyed them. So the gentleman there serving us had some sparkling wine with it and some water and then some great focaccia bread, but it was the oysters. I was just like sold at the oysters. And first we tried them raw. Very different taste. I absolutely loved it. I definitely think they're the best I've ever had, honestly. Then he actually broiled them a little bit. And the only thing he put on it, in the States, we put all this like for baked oysters, they throw so much cheese and bread and like breadcrumbs and all this kind of stuff. I've never really liked them that way. So when I knew I was going to have baked oysters, I'm thinking, well, we'll see. Well, I was blown away because they just do fish and seafood simple here. It was just a little bit of olive oil, some fresh parsley, garlic, and lemon squeezed on top, and just broiled for like a couple of minutes, not long at all. And do you know the taste was totally different? So I really enjoyed these. Highly recommend eating oysters for their value of just the high protein and all the vitamins, minerals that comes with it. And if you don't like them, obviously you're not going to take my advice, but if you've never tried them, maybe I've piqued your interest. A quick shout out to Mary Newman for buying me a cup of coffee. If you didn't know about this, I am on the Buy Me a Coffee app, and it's a great way to support my vlog if you're interested. So on my big list of what I wanted to do here in Croatia was to, as soon as possible, attend a football game, right? So Friday night I'm at a meetup and I met several people, a couple Romanian guys. They're telling me about this football game tomorrow and it's major rivalries. So it's actually the split team versus Zagreb, big rivalries, right? And I finally learned the names. It's Hajduk and Dinamo. And I'm like, I didn't even know what the teams' names were. This is how much I know about football. But I knew I wanted to go. I wanted to experience this because I've heard like crazy things. And every time I've come over to Europe, I've missed out on opportunities of a football game. So here it is. So Friday night, they're talking about it. And then I meet these other two girls from the US actually. So that was pretty cool. And they're telling me the process of how you have to like sign up for the membership and then you finally can get the tickets. And they've been really excited because the season started back in July and I guess our local team is doing pretty good, right? So I reach out. I'm kind of bummed because I'm like, oh, if I knew about it, I would have gotten tickets for tomorrow. But the next morning, just something inside me was like, I'm going to reach out to the one girl. She was really helpful on telling me the process of how to get tickets in the future, but I didn't know the website. So I just messaged her on WhatsApp. Great to meet you. What's the process again for this? And she messages me back, one of my friends is not going. Do you want to buy their ticket? What was my last thing I recently said? Yes, say yes to life, right? So I said yes. And so they made it really just so helpful. The two girls are like, yeah, we'll meet up with you. You can get the ticket from me then. But we'll just kind of walk to a local place and we'll just have a drink before we go into the stadium. We'll show you how to get into the stadium. I really appreciate these two girls. So shout out to Ashley and Jesse. Thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me tag along with this with you guys and just having that first initial because then we were sitting in different seats in totally different sections. So appreciate just like not only getting to know them, but helping with my first football game. And nothing really could have prepared me for this. Yes. And the it was I have no words. So I'm showing a couple clips here of this so you actually really see what's going on. Some of you are like, yeah, I've been to one. This was tame according to ones I've been to. I don't know. For me, it was like craziness, but amazing. And I'm really glad that I wasn't in the section with all the pyrotechnics because, wow, as a health and wellness person, I was thinking, those environmental toxins from the pyrotechnics. Oh my God, they're breathing all that. So I was concerned about that and all the smoking. And of course, that I'm just glad I didn't sit in that section because I would have probably got up and kind of walked out or tried to find another seat somewhere. I wouldn't have been able to even see because as you could see, there's so much like flares and smoke and everything is going on the entire game. But I was right next to it, so close enough to actually see all of it and experience it. I'm really glad I went, and I definitely am going to go to future games. So, one of the smart things I did was I took the first week completely off, right? Just to kind of get settled, be a tourist, get connected. But I also wanted to make sure I was ready for my work week next week. And that meant trialing out the Wi Fi, trialing out calls, and I had a really big scare. The first 48 hours, I couldn't get in touch with my daughter. So I was trying to get a call to her. We were able to text, no problem, and the call was not going through. So I had this panic moment, mainly for my daughter, because I'm like, what is going on? Am I going to need to get a SIM card? I'm on like the highest plan there is for Verizon. So I thought I did all my due diligence, and here I am not able to actually speak with my daughter. So finally, I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I shut the phone off and I turned it back on and it worked. So I think sometimes we just need a reset. That goes for a lot of things in life, right? But my phone just needed a reset. Everything else was working. The functions were working. It's just the call wasn't going through. Turned that thing off, turned it back on, and I was able to finally connect with her. Nothing wrong at all. I had the right plan. But when you're coming over here and living abroad or spending any time extended time, even if it's for a couple weeks, you want to look ahead of time as like what plan is going to be best for you. I always had Verizon. Many years ago, I switched to other carriers, but I've been with Verizon a long time now. It just was the best for me. I don't mind paying the higher pricing on it. And last March, before I went to Spain, they told me about the International Global Plan that was a steady global plan rather than just when you were going to go over to another country. So it was, I think, newer. And I was like, well, let's definitely do that rather than paying like $10 a day or $100 a month, which is what I did before. Just put me on the plan. And it was only like, I think, $3 more a month. So check your current plan if you're coming over here to see what the best thing is for you. Now, yes, I'm paying like $100 a month for this. There's cheaper ways to do this. And I've met many other digital nomads that they come over and they just get a SIM card and they get on a plan. They're paying like maybe $20 a month. For me, I need to make sure everything's working well for my business. My business is really important to me that I'm able to connect with my clients, and some of those sessions are by phone. And I just want to make sure that there's just no issues. Now, fast forward a few months from now, maybe I go in a different direction to save a little bit of money, but right now I have the peace of mind that I am connected with my clients, my family, my friends. We're all good. Drop a comment below though, because I know a lot of you already, different nomads, have told me what they have done. And I really would love for you to chime in here as put in the comments what you've done because our listeners want to know before they're traveling what are their options right now in 2025, right? Because everything changes so fast. Now, the other thing I did was I scoped out a co working space because I knew I take clients Monday through Thursday, but on Fridays, I work on my business. Okay. So I'm not taking clients, but I'm actually very like productive working on my business, whether it's marketing, whatever I'm doing, I'm taking time to do that. I'll call it my buffer day, whatever you want to call it, but that's the day. And I didn't want to be doing that out of my apartment. So I found a place I really like. It's called Smart Space. I know it's a little bit higher price here in Split than apparently some of the others, but it's got a sweet location. I love the location, really nice. Fedya and May, who are the owners there, really just super nice people. So they made me feel really welcome when I went there and checked it out on Friday of this week, my first week, and I worked there for about a half a day. So I did decide to get several, like a 5 pass combo, so that the next several Fridays I can be working from there and just have no problem with connectivity. But I'm around people, other business professionals, whether they're entrepreneurs or working for other companies. I can be around them. So these are the things that help me just like prepare for next week, for my first week of working. And I think it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a good plan. Will it shift in the future? Maybe, but right now it's working well. So I just want to talk a little bit about this final piece of showing up for yourself. I know there's a lot of fear around that, of making friends at any age. It doesn't matter how old you are. Some people like get older and they're like, it's so hard to make friends. Well, you know what? It's hard to make friends as a 20-year-old too. So it's any age, and it really does involve you just deciding. It's like a decision. You get to choose. How do you want to interact in life? Do you want people around you, or do you not, right? For me, I'm an ambivert. I like my alone time and I like my people time, but I would say especially as I've gotten older, I'm really into the social connections because I also realize it's a big part of my well-being. It's a huge part of my well-being. So being able to be uncomfortable in situations is okay. You just push yourself, you show up. Worst case scenario, you don't like where you're at, or if you're at a place you're not really having fun, and you just excuse yourself and leave, right? What's the worst thing that can happen? Truly. So that was one thing I'm really proud of myself, is just, diving into that digital nomad WhatsApp group, seeing what was going on and showing up for things. And I'm already making friends. I've made plans to walk with a couple of girls. I went to a yoga place because I know my body needs, especially this first week, I needed yoga. I was walking a ton, but I just need some good yoga. So I reached out to Ivana at Yoga Room Split, and I loved it there. She's got a great studio, wonderful location, and I went ahead and got an 8 pass, class pass type of thing where I'm going to be there for 8 different classes. And so my plan is going twice a week. I've already been a couple of times and it's a perfect fit for me. But just think about, what is it you need in your life? Is it people around you? Do you need the health and wellness aspect, which of course I highly recommend? And what does that look like for you? How do you want it to look like for you? You get to make these decisions yourself. Now, in the next episode, I want to make sure that you tune in, because I can't wait to show you, like, talk about and show you my first week of this work-life balance. It's exciting, so definitely stay tuned for the next one. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If, as you are listening to this, you thought of someone that you want to share it with, please do. Sharing is caring, for real. And until next time, I want you to think about what might be missing from your life. Do you have joy? Do you have fulfillment? Do you have connection? And know that you don't have to go about this alone. I'm here to help you. Reach out. Would love to chat. Bye for now.